So this week we're going to talk a little bit about sort of best practices and tips for holding Bitcoin. So yeah, these are we're going to try to keep these short and not super crazy. We'll use the main topic as our if we want to go really down the rabbit hole, like Ben said. All right, so best tip for holding Bitcoin.
Number one, know what your seed phrase is and back it up securely.
Right.
If you're asking what a seed phrase is, hopefully you don't own very much Bitcoin yet, because you really need to figure that out. But for the people new to this space and thinking about getting some, definitely your seed phrase is where you're going to get started once you have a wallet. And you can actually buy some Bitcoin on an exchange before you get to the seed phrase and figuring that out. But after you have some Bitcoin, you're holding it on the exchange, you want to move it to a wallet where you will custody your own Bitcoin. It's at that point that you need to know the basics of self-custody and how you're going to be securing your Bitcoin.
Yeah, and I think it's important to realize that with something like Bitcoin, there is no trusted third party, so it's a trustless system, and you are responsible for it. And that's a big part of taking responsibility for your own actions and for I guess it comes in part with if you want to be independent from that trusted system that we've had and relied on for so long, then you're going to have to be doubly responsible for taking control of that. Yeah. So what's my?
Most people would, if you had a safe in your house, people would understand the concept of needing to know the security code to get into. But in the physical realm, we kind of have that fail safe of if you totally forget it, there is still the option of cutting into that physical steel safe. In the digital world, no cutting into it if you forget the keys. So
that's right. There's no forgot password link for your seed phrase for your crypto.
Yeah. Backups of the backups.
Exactly. So what's some good ways of keeping the backup copy safe, keeping your seed phrase safe? Do we want to get into details of that? Sorry, say that again. I missed there, Dan.
Recording it on paper, I would say record your seed phrase, note the order. Recording the seed phrase on paper, I would say, is the best thing to start with. Your seed phrase is typically going to be 12 to 24 words. So just write those words down, make sure you're numbering them correctly, and put those in. Maybe have a couple copies, put them in a secure location like a safe, maybe somewhere else that's also protected and secure.
Not a safety deposit box in a bank.
Not a safety deposit box.
I mean, I would consider holding my hard wallet in a safety deposit box, but I wouldn't put my seed phrase in a safety deposit box, just because that's like giving someone, I don't know, the keys to your house. Honestly, someone I don't trust very much. Right?
Absolutely.
Because someone can have your hardware wallet and not actually have access to your crypto.
Because they are PIN protected as well.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
Yep. No, I definitely agree with that. And for those who want to move to an extra security or secure backup step beyond a paper copy, definitely there are products out there called crypto steals, and there are also some nifty solutions we may talk about in depth at some point about cheaper options for you to back up your seed phrase in metal.
What are some of the other names for seed phrase? Because I know we talk about the seed phrase and we all know what it means. It's like the passphrase. Is that another commonly used one? There's mnemonic phrase.
Really commonly used. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other one that I remember hearing.
I think a lot of people refer to the seed phrase as their keys too, which isn't technically correct, but I think a lot of people, use that terminology for their seed phrase, but I know technically that's not actually correct. But
Right.
So what else we got in the notes here? Transacting crypto. We had some tips here for transacting crypto to when you first start. You buy a little bit, you get it on an exchange, and you're all excited, and then you have to send it to a wallet. And I think the idea of holding it in a wallet too is almost a new concept for a lot of people in the crypto world, that it is important to self-custody. Most people think, well, I have it on an exchange, so therefore it's safe, it's fine. But can't stress enough how important self-custody is to get it in a software or hardware wallet. Start small. Double check your addresses.
I can speak from personal experience on that one. Learned that one the hard way. Just Dan and I were working with a bit of Litecoin back before we were more and more into Bitcoin, and just working with it because it was fast and relatively cheap. And he sent me some, and then when I was trying to send it back to him to see how it worked, I didn't double check the receiving address, or I guess his public key probably is what it would be. And it got lost in the exchange's internet somewhere on the platform, but didn't make it back to Dan. So note to self, always double check. And if uncertain, triple check.
Yeah. And I think, and that's another thing too, when you have a new wallet or a new exchange or things like that, is to start small. Don't send, an entire Bitcoin in your first transaction. Not that I have an entire Bitcoin to send, but you know what I mean? Like you start with a small, small $10, $20, whatever, and see if it gets through to the other end. And then once that, you're all set, everything's good. And maybe if you're not a real tech person and you're, it's all very new to you, do it 3 or 4 times that way. Send small little amounts each time, checking the address and all of that. And just get familiar with the process with small amounts.
Yeah, absolutely. Experience is really the best way to build confidence in this. And just that checking the address, especially the starting letters, numbers of the address and the end ones, because just in case something happened in the copy paste process, because a lot of us will be doing that. We'll be going into the wallet, we'll hit copy, we'll go over to the exchange that we just bought Bitcoin on, and you hit paste. And that address goes in there, and you just want to double check that. And then, like Owen said, use small amounts until you're really familiar with how it works.
Yep. All right. Because the consequences of messing up, as we just heard, are that it's gone, because there is no save or there is no forgot password button, so to speak, when it comes to that.
And initially,
control the blockchain and can simply reverse it, not in a properly decentralized blockchain like Bitcoin.
Right.
So just keep in mind that you can't just have it reversed. You can't say go to a bank teller and have them fill out a form for you and fix things. Okay, so a lot of this is taking a level of responsibility you may not have had to use in the old financial system. But it's definitely something you can do. Just get in there and try it. Recognize that you're learning, do it slowly, step by step, and you'll be confident in doing that before you know it.
That's a big part of the system, though. I think it's important to point out that aspect of the system, that there is nobody who can go in and just, hey, I'm going to just reverse this because so-and-so made a mistake. It also means nobody can go in and change that ledger can go in and change the blockchain to benefit themselves or benefit anyone else, or make adjustments. And I think that's a key ingredient to why the Bitcoin is much better than the fiat system, because the fiat system can totally be cooked. The books can totally be cooked behind the scenes. And so that's part of what makes the system great, what part of what makes it so secure. But of course, that comes with its own set of risks, as we pointed out.
Yeah, it was a very stark reminder in that stepping into the realm of cryptocurrencies, and specifically Bitcoin, is it's being cognizant and realizing that it's a lot more responsibility, but it's also a lot more freeing in that it's a big step into individual sovereignty. Just being able to say, this is where I'm stepping outside of both the old normal and the new normal.
Yeah, exactly.